Hello everyone, it's Nathan from Nathan's DIY World, and today I'm going to show you how to check for frame rust on a first-gen Toyota Tundra or Toyota Sequoia. Okay, so say you're going to go buy one of these trucks. You want to do a quick inspection. This is my personal vehicle, so it is a little bit dirty. The first thing you want to do is go in here to the front fender. You're going to want to look in the front fender well, and you're going to want to look at this hole right here. See, that's a nice square hole. That's the number one indicator. If that's getting rusted out around there, if you see any scaling or flaking on this, that's one good sign there's a problem. Okay, so the other thing we look at, we're under the driver's side, right there's the front tire. You're going to look at the front cab mounts. You're going to look up here, and you're going to look closely at the holes. Make sure there's no flaking. There's a little bit here. It's just paint only flaking off. And of course, look at these other holes. The biggest thing is, what happens is water gets down this box frame. It gets down in here, it can't get out. So a lot of times this weld in the bottom will be all rusted out. A lot of times the welds on the sides along this edge will be rusted out. You want to inspect carefully along the transmission crossmember. Make sure there's no rust there, and go back, look at these holes, and you can see this one has a couple little specks on it, but that's fine. Go back here a little further, and you're going to want to look at the spring shackle, and this is the most important thing. You look at the spring shackle up here, make sure there's no damage, and you can see the hole in it. That's normal, that's the way it's supposed to be, and you're going to want to check your frame all the way back. Now, also, you can see or not, you can look over here to the other side. There's a little more, actually I think it's more dirt than rust. So basically how this runs is Toyota will replace this frame, and they will do it for free of charge. But it has to be so bad. And it's really, really a big pain in the ass trying to get them to do it. And how they judge how to do it is if there is a rust hole starting. How Toyota gauges this, if they could stick their finger through it and actually put their finger through the rust hole in the frame, it qualifies for replacement. Now, like I said before, a lot of them are gonna bitch and piss and moan, not want to do anything for you, tell you there's nothing they could do. Now, I have got one of these trucks done before. It had over 200,000 miles on it. It was a 2001, and that was 3 years ago. It was 2016. And what I ended up doing, I ended up taking it to a dealership further north, and they did it. The ones that are further south don't want to do it. And the biggest reason they don't want to do it because they don't get paid for it. They only get paid for the parts. They get a small amount of the labor they'd ordinarily get charging a regular customer. And they'll do almost anything to keep them having to do it. So how I did it, I went through and I actually printed out a paper from the internet that says it was a recall, had the procedure, what they had to do. And I just stand there with them on when it was on the lift in their shop and basically scold them and tell them they're going to do it, and finally they agreed to it. Now, it's not only for the frame. What they should do on the Tundra is they should take the bed off, the cab off. They should replace leaf springs if they're rusty and flaking, any kind of brake lines or fuel lines. I mean, that's what they have to do. Make sure they don't squander you on that. That will allow you to buy one of these trucks for a good price that has a rusty frame. A lot of people don't know that. And you can usually get a rusted out Tundra for cheap. As we all know, a good first gen Tundra, 2000 to 2006, depends on what year it is exactly and what setup it has. And right now they start around $7,000 and go up for a four-wheel drive. So the Sequoias also had the problem. It wasn't quite as bad as you can see on my Sequoia, but they still had it. It's also always a good thing to check is around the trailer hitch. All the points where the trailer hitch bolts in, there should be six or eight bolts on these. Make sure that's rusty before you pull anything with it. These things will pull pretty good sized loads with no problem, but you don't want to pull your truck in half trying to do it. So anyway, that's all for today's video, guys. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check me out on Facebook, Nathan's DIY World. And for BMW stuff, go check out my main channel, Nathan's DIY Garage. Thank you.